Wow, Band Together, how are you so successful?
It's simple. I drink a lot of milk and money to capture my cash cowiness, and now everybody loves me.
Band Together, I love you. Drink my blood.
Sorry, but that's not entirely true.
What do you mean?
Well, you're not an Oscar nomination like Nimona or Across the Spider-Verse, and everyone wants to be like those heroes.
So?
And lately, I've been hearing people singing Loser Baby and Knowing What We Know Now, not any of your songs.
That's impossible. I'm supposed to be the giver of happiness. We did a whole lore about it in all 3 of our movies.
Well, your movie's over 3 months ago, which in internet years is 20 years. Nowadays, people would just rather forget about you and move on to the other joyful project that has and will last infinitely.
I'm not done yet. I'm supposed to be the giver of happiness. How do I keep this going?
Well, there is one way you can prove to the world that you can still bring happiness to everyone by making one individual, Mad Hatter Patrick, extremely happy.
World Tour? Remember what happened to our older brother when he reviewed his first movie?
They punish it by playing Ring of Fire while throwing fire knives for 24 hours.
So why him out of everyone else?
Well, according to our audience data, it appears this man has lost his happiness for some reason, like it was taken or something. If you can find a way to make him happy again with your own movie, you can continue your reputation of being the cash cow of your dreams.
Okay, I'll do it. It's time to hustle.
Come on, smile. Why am I suddenly not in a good mood today? I guess that explains it.
I'm here to make you smile.
Then go away. Forever!
Oh, come on. It can't be that bad to you. Tell me what's the matter, Mr. Hatter.
I mean, what can I say about a particular anime franchise that never made me happy? I already expressed a few times on my channel that I don't like the Trolls franchise ever since I saw the first movie. Even when I look back on some of the stuff like Can't Stop the Feeling, the annoying cloud guy that's ripping off Frozen, there was nothing there that was worth liking about it aside from the colorful animation. The franchise will continue to grow with a sequel, Trolls World Tour, which I will admit is the only Trolls movie I give a pass to. The third movie, on the other hand, made me go back to why I hated the franchise in the first place, because this one just doesn't give a sparkle at all. And this sequel was an absolute wake-up call to animation fans that the new DreamWorks Renaissance was nothing but a myth. Where 2022 was their greatest comeback with The Bad Guys and The Last Wish, 2023 made it disappear through Ruby Gilman's Bomb and the soullessness of Trolls 3. But despite receiving less money than its predecessor, it still made a moderate hit at the box office because there is clearly a fan base for it. Welcome to another episode of the Wonder Reviews. Trolls pun, let's get this over with. A troll named Johnny Jory is trying to rescue his brother from the 2 spinels the Steven Universe diamonds refuse to shatter. The brother gets trapped into an impenetrable glass jar, but the only thing that can break it is by singing the perfect family harmony. So he crashes a Bergen wedding party to call for Branch and Poppy, who was again played by Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick. Why does he need help from the 2 incompatible couples? Because he's Branch's brother and they used to be in a band when he was a baby. So now they're going to get the band back together to save Branch's brother. So where do I begin with this? Well, I can begin the beginning of the franchise because, oh my goodness, it's the same movie as the first movie! I'm not even joking. This is the exact storyline that we saw from the movie that started everything. The goal is to save some trolls, the evil villains want to use their substance for their selfishness, Branch is grumpy and needs to be happy again, Poppy is super happy all the time and never shuts up about everything. They sing a bunch of pop songs here and there and have the Great MacGuffin song to solve every problem and put it on a billboard. How is it that nobody in this film thinks to themselves that any of this looks familiar? We've done this song and dance routine before despite the new locations and characters. It's not like the last sequel or Puss in Boots' Last Wish where they take us to new adventures or dangers we never seen before. It ran out of ideas, so they repeat some stuff with some obvious changes. But that's not all. As it is a band movie, it checks out every stereotypical trope ever thought in a band movie. From the band breaking up due to several arguments and an accident that happened a long time ago, the goal to bring them back together to get them out of retirement and putting them on a big stage as their biggest comeback ever. Not even the moral feels genuine or earned, it's uninspiringly predictable where your family is perfect just the way it is. We've seen this method before in stuff like The Mitchells vs. the Machines and Disney's Encanto, and Trolls Band Together never figure out why everyone loved those movies. What's worse is that the comedy is absolute cringe. There is nothing funny to be found in it. It's filled with bad music puns and some really horrible running jokes like Tiny Diamond wanting to become a man, or Poppy yapping about she doesn't have a sister, or some other topics. There is again no point to them. It's just another movie that's only generated to be hip and cool with the kids. Another problem I have with this movie has always been the jukebox musical numbers. Now, it's not the songs in general, it's the way that they bring them up. With some of the remixes like We Are Family, Staying Alive, Sweet Dreams, and more, most of the songs have nothing to do with Trolls Rescuing Brozone, not even the original song Better Place. It doesn't matter how popular these tunes are, they don't fit into the story. If you want some good jukebox musicals, here are some examples. In Sing, when Johnny sings I'm Still Standing, he's singing about standing up for himself for his passion for singing. In Yellow Submarine, whenever they sing something like Nowhere Man, they sing about who Jeremy is and that he wants to show his knowledge to the world so that he wouldn't be lonely. Or since DreamWorks is fond of copyrighted soundtrack, they need to remember Shrek 2's Holding Out for a Hero. It sings about the fairy godmother pretending that Prince Charming is Shrek to Fiona, while the real Shrek is racing against the clock to rescue his wife in a heroic way. I know it seems unfair to compare Trolls 3 to these other films some, but part of this analysis is to explain why Trolls never works as a jukebox musical because the songs they pick don't factor into the story. Whenever they play something like Sweet Dreams, all I can think about is the Quicksilver scene from X-Men Apocalypse, not a final showdown with Velvet Veneer playing Mario Kart. They have talented singers, but the movie can't make great characters. If the past movies make all the Trolls characters uninteresting or annoying, what makes you think I should be happy to see these guys again? There is absolutely nothing new for them as individuals, and nobody here is likable or even relatable. On top of that, you don't care about the surprises they are given to these popular characters. I don't care Branch was in a boy band, I don't care Poppy had a long-lost sister because the predecessors never hinted at them to begin with. Branch is the grumpy old troll that decides to reunite with his brother to save his brother Floyd. So, Band Together is supposed to be his movie, where we learn that he was part of Brozone, nicknamed Bandy Branch. The only problem with him is that he's going through the same arc he had in the first movie, being grumpy with everyone and has to learn to be happy. Even with his origin story, they don't do much with him but remind his brother that he's all grown up and no longer a baby. As for Poppy, she's demoted to being the annoying super chattering fangirl that's trying to be supportive to her non-existent boyfriend Branch. Then there's Tiny Diamond, the annoying baby from the second movie, and the only side character from the cast that decides to join Poppy and Branch on the adventure so he can become a man. Not only is he never funny, but his side plot has nothing to do with Branch reuniting with his brothers. He doesn't even learn a lesson about never rushing to grow up. Although he drives the Caterpillar bus, you can cut him off and the movie would still be the same.
But we had to put in only one side character for this movie to sell more merchandise. Come on, isn't he cute with his deep voice and that little ring pop in his mouth?
I suddenly have the urge to buy 10 more Star plushies. And speaking of the side characters everybody has already forgotten, they only appear in the Bergen's wedding with barely any dialogue, while Poppy's dad keeps being a horrible liar regarding Poppy's sister. As for Branch's brothers, they really don't matter, even if they need to be a family again to save one of their kind. When you look at them individually, they only have one trait, and that's all you can remember from them. Floyd is the Princess Peach from the earlier Mario games that gets captured, and the only person that cares about Branch entirely. John Dory is the assertive leader that wants to make the perfect family harmony perfect. Clay leads a group of abandoned trolls to do boring things like business, but he wants to do fun things again. And Spruce just changed his name to Bruce and is attached to some of the Dr. Muppet creatures. But when you look at their brotherhood, they have absolutely no chemistry. After one accident at the beginning of the movie, they decide to split up and go their separate ways while Branch was still a baby. Even after they reunite, they still see him as their little baby in diapers and want to split up again after rescuing Floyd. Then there are the villains, Velvet and Veneer. They are basically rehashing the same villain goal from Chef Bergen where they're trying to suck up Brozone to become better singers. Unlike the past villains like Chef or Queen Bar where they're actually a legitimate threat to all Trolls' kind, these generic teens are just the selfish pop stars that want to bring home the trophy by stealing the life energy out of Brozone, not the whole colony. As individuals, Velvet is just the selfish spoiled brat, and that's it. While Veneer is the supportive brother that feels guilty over killing the trolls like Bridget.
But our TikTokers love them. That's gotta mean they're the coolest villains in the DreamWorks cinematic universe.
Nope, sorry again. No part of that is cooler than these DreamWorks baddies. Speaking of the Bergens, King Gristle and Bridget are back as newlyweds, and they also have a pointless side plot with their honeymoon when, in actuality, they could have joined the trolls on their rescue mission. Or for that matter, calling a troll and Bergen rescue party from the wedding to save Floyd. It's 2 against everyone. In case you're wondering, no, Gristle and Bridget were not intending to visit the places Branch's brothers might be, nor told them where the trolls are going. They just made a lucky stop. There's also Crimp, the villain's assistant that looks like Cousin Anne from the Addams Family, who becomes a good gal at the end, but that's all there is to her. And last but not least, Viva, Poppy's long-lost sister, and weirdly enough, the only interesting character of the movie. Although I never cared about Poppy having a sister, Viva is the most genuine troll amongst the cast. Played by Camila Cabello, she got separated from her sibling from the first movie and leads a group of lost trolls so no troll will be left behind. She doesn't want her to leave, fearing the Bergens would eat her despite the Pop Trolls making peace with them. She's the only sibling that feels like a real sibling than Branch's own brothers, including Floyd. And it's just too bad that the script couldn't just let her join the group because just like Tiny Diamond, she doesn't serve a purpose that much. Okay, so after blowing up some huge thunders, does the animation still looks good? Well, kind of. The reason why I say that is because its colorful novelty has worn off quickly after the 3rd run. Yes, the trolls are still better than the original Nightmare versions, the colors are visually pleasing, and even some of the choreography is fine during the dance sequences. For the backgrounds, there are some cool looking locations like the abandoned Puppet Gulch where it's a home for abandoned trolls, Mount Raging has fancy buildings and red carpets for Rose, and especially Vacay Island as a place inhabited by Muppet-like Dr. Seuss creatures filled with beach toys and blue marbles as water. But what's holding it back? Why am I not mesmerized by the animation? Well, it's the same problem as Shrek the Third. The animation is good, but that's all it can ever be for the movie, not for the film's tone or storytelling. Nowadays, the animation on Trolls wears off quickly with its personal novelty, and it feels like you're watching the previous movie just like the story is repeating the first film. And the jukebox songs don't really help because they feel like the same routine from the previous movies. There are other art styles they try like 2D Inside the Bus, but that ended quickly with only 2 scenes. So don't expect it to be as trippy as Yellow Submarine. And the designs of Velvet, Veneer, and the others like them don't really belong in a Trolls movie being these long humanoid creatures. I understand the other creatures because they feel strange or otherworldly. Here, they look like missing human characters from the Ruby Gillman movie.
Well, actually, they're supposed to be modeled after the Bay Spaghetti Dolls, which came around the same decade as the Trolls.
Does this franchise demographic know, remember, or even care what toy they are referencing?
No.
Then there's nothing to discuss or reference about it.
Okay, you know what? I can actually deal with the feedback over the animation. A bit underwhelming, but we're still pretty enough. That's gotta mean I get a pass like World Tour. Would you do it if I do a remix of a song that you like?
In fact, I have just the song for you.
Really? What is it?
Despite your popularity, you got incinerated.
What?
Trolls Band Together is just another soulless movie trying to be hip and cool with a kid that makes you want to mute the music. Yes, the animation continues to look pretty, but prettiness can't give this film everything that it wants and brainwash me to like it that easily. The plot is a complete other repeat of the first movie, the characters are either annoying or forgettable in the next month or so, and it features a bunch of irritating, corporately manufactured jukebox songs that makes an hour and a half feel like 3 hours. Unless you are a major fan of the Trolls franchise, don't waste your money on the sequel. There is nothing important to be found in this film. I'd rather take my chances with the Boss Baby movies. Oh, they're still bad, but at least I know that franchise wouldn't last longer and know when to quit. I actually find this Trolls movie to be the worst of the 3 because it reminds me of my distaste from the first film. And that's why I'm giving this film a D, and the only happiness it can bring me is sacrificing itself to the flames of failure. I'm sorry, but this franchise and its happy power just doesn't work that way for anyone like me. Wait, what's that?
What's what?
I saw something inside your charm. Can I get a closer look, please?
You can't cause, it'll give you a rash.
Knowing what we know now. Knowing what we know now. My happy memories. My favorite cartoons. My personal fantasy song playlist. It was you all along! You stole my happiness ever since I watched your movie. No wonder I feel so drained. You suck my essence so you can have all the admiration to yourself and no other project.
Hey now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's do the Macarena together.
Huh? Mad Hatter Patrick is happy once more!
What? That's all it took?
Oh, there are some other things that have made me happy about for this year, like Kung Fu Panda 4, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, the Paper Mario remake, The Wild Robot directed by Chris Sanders, that upcoming Iwaju miniseries, and many more. This Epic Mickey remake just reminded me to be happy about some of the things I'm supposed to look forward to in the future. These, along with everything inside this charm, are the real happy treasures to me. All your movie cared about is money and attention, and that's not my happy treasure. It comes from real compassion and love from others. That's the real happy treasure. Oh, and one more thing. I believe these belong to me.
No, you can't be serious. I'm supposed to be the cash cow of happiness.
Sorry, dude, but you're not part of my happy place. Skadoosh! What the...
Whoa! Did you see that?
Thanks, Poe. Wanna get something to eat?
Can't say no to that.
Sweet. I'm Mad Hatter Patrick, and always be happy to those you really treasured, both old and new. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.